Hey, what's up, everybody? Marcos Villegas for Fight Up TV, powered by Stagefront VIP. Being joined with Oscar De La Hoya in his home here in Las Vegas. Beautiful, beautiful compound, Oscar. But yeah, it signals a move to Vegas. You wanting to do a lot more projects over here in Las Vegas. But it had me kind of wondering, like, what do you want to do here in Vegas with you not only moving here, but having an actual office here in Vegas too?
Well, not just an office, but yeah, just having presence in a major way. The idea, and we're already looking into this, is to build an apex here in Las Vegas, bring all of Golden Boy headquarters to Las Vegas. We obviously have LA, eventually have Florida or New York, and just have a global presence because I feel that 2024 is going to be a major year for boxing in general. I think the momentum we have now, I want to keep going. I want to not stop. And so having my residency here, having eventually an apex here, bring all the Golden Boy fights here to Vegas, and just bring back the old days, man. Just, you know, the mecca of boxing is Las Vegas. It's always been, always will, and I want to make sure of that.
In your plan, how you mapped it out, like, do you have like I don't want to say deadline, but like around like how many years you're giving yourself to go ahead and execute this?
Yeah, I think realistically within 3 years. Building out everything, you know, we can you know, start opening up shop and you know, and just continue to chip away. You know, the sport of boxing is very fragmented. You know, you have managers, you have promoters, you have this, you have that. Well, we have an opportunity with me on the helm, right? Because I was a fighter, gold medalist, world champion. You know, a lot of these young fighters, they look up to me. They look up to Bernard, who's a legend. We have the know-abouts. We have the experience. We have been involved in all big major pay-per-view fights. We were just involved in one last year with Ryan Garcia and Tank Davis. You know, with having Virgil and having all the top fighters that we promote. You know, I think that we have to take it up to the next level. And what I mean by that is, you know, building a gym out here, building the apex, housing fighters, cultivating the next stars, the next champions. Like I said, this is the birth, the home, and you know, I want to bring that back and make sure that people know that that not only Golden Boy but boxing is Las Vegas's home.
Let me ask you this, and I was thinking about this on the way over here, because there's been rumors that Top Rank is being sold or about to be sold, even though Todd, Bob, and Dana White refuted it, said that's not going to happen. But we're seeing a lot of companies build out schedule for acquisitions. Is that part of your plan? Because I know you mentioned it maybe to me a year and a half ago that, hey, you know, I'm thinking about maybe selling Golden Boy, but you love it so much that you decided not to. Sure. But is that kind of what you're building to, like to build it so that it can get acquired by someone else?
Well, I've literally had many sleepless nights thinking about and strategizing on what I really want to do. When I announced that I have an offer for Golden Boy, it was real. Mm-hmm. And again, I had a lot of sleepless nights, and it was difficult for me to, I guess, pull the trigger because I love the sport so much. This is the sport that gave me everything. This is a sport that has so much room and potential to grow. So much potential. I mean, we haven't even scratched the surface. So I decided, okay, let me redirect, you know, my strategy. Let me rethink my strategy and start off from square one. And so, you know, first thing is first. I think I'm gonna finance myself, you know, headquarters here in Las Vegas, and at the same time look for investors or strategic partners who will who will help me grow Golden Boy and take it to the next level.
You know, speaking of that growth, we're seeing a lot of fights headed over to Saudi Arabia. They're like a new player, and a lot of huge fights are going over there. Well, is there any fights that you have in mind that you want to take over there that you think makes sense to take over there, or any fights that are coming up that you're like, this is an option?
Yeah, you know, that's crazy because I was thinking about how it's a bittersweet deal, you know, fighting in Saudi or fighting in Riyadh, or you think about, okay, Ryan Garcia, Devin Haney, right? I mean, that fight can generate between 500 and, if it hits a home run, 1 million homes. The gate can be incredible here in Las Vegas, right? I mean, Riyadh can pay me a boatload of money and stage the fight out there, but you're literally doing some like injustice to like the fan here in America, because the fight would have to be shown early. The PR machine behind the whole event wouldn't be the same. The fighters wouldn't get the publicity or the recognition, or, you know, like fighting here in Vegas, because when you fight in Vegas, it's like a fire. You start a fire and that fire just takes off like wildfire all over the country. So I have to weigh my options, you know. It's like, do I want the quick money, the fast money in Riyadh, and lose the fan base and lose, you know, the fans that the fighters need in order to progress their career, and you know, because they're not only going to fight once, they're going to continue to fight. So, and they're not going to fight in Riyadh all the time. So I have to weigh those options and really think about it. So you know, it's that's why I have all these sleepless nights all the time, because I'm constantly thinking, okay, what's the next move? What's the right move for the fighters? What's the right move for the company? Yeah,
no, it is interesting. I know a lot of fans have brought that up, like, hey, you know, we can't go to these fights because it's very far, and yeah, they are on times that's, you know, earlier than normal.
Yeah, people forget. Yeah. People are not used to it. People, you know, are not interested because they have something else to do. So you have to weigh that in and make a decision. But look, I mean, money is money, and it's green. And you know, if Riyadh is going to offer something crazy, then you got to think about it.
You know, with that being said, Oscar, I know when I spoke to you a few days ago, you'd mentioned that the negotiations would start pretty soon for that fight with Ryan and Devin. But I remember an interview that I did with Bob and Teo saying that they wanted that fight with Ryan in February for Super Bowl. What happened with that? Because we caught up with Teo, I want to say maybe a month ago, and he said he turned it down. And we didn't really know how to process that, if he was saying that to posture or if he really did say no. What happened there on your end?
I didn't know how to process that either, because I never made him an offer. Never did I make him an offer. When he spoke about 1.5 million, I was flabbergasted. I was like, what? I never made you an offer. Yeah. So the last time we talked with Bob is like, okay, let's try to make this fight happen, and Super Bowl weekend and this and that, and nothing came about it. All of a sudden I hear Teofimo talking about, well, I turned down the offer. Well, I never made you an offer. So obviously, look, Teo's fighting in February, and you know, I'm going to start negotiations with Haney and his father right after Virgil's fight on Saturday, and get it going. Hopefully for March, first weekend of April.
Yeah, there's a plan there I saw for Teo to have this fight in February, another fight, Puerto Rican Day Parade, and then Heisman with the winner of Devin and Ryan. Have you gone, well, is this the first you've heard then?
First time I hear this.
Okay, I was going to say, was that part of the plan, like for the winner to go on that date against Teo?
Look, I mean, first time I hear this, but look, first thing is first. I'm focusing on Virgil Ortiz because he's the real deal. He's our you know, future for the whole sport. Not just for me, not for the company, but for the fans. I mean, Virgil's the real deal. He knocks you out anytime he wants, you know, or within 12 rounds. 19-0, 19 knockouts. I mean, Jesus, it's an amazing career that he's had so far. So my focus is on him 1,000%, and make him a superstar. With Ryan, look, I mean, I'm going to start negotiations. He gave me strict orders to go after Haney, and that's what I'm going to do. And I strongly feel that it's not going to be difficult to make. I think that Haney and his father are bright, and they know what they want. And obviously they'll be making their biggest payday of their whole career, which is great because we're a promoter that is fair. You know, we're not like, okay, well, Ryan Garcia is selling 1.3 million homes on pay-per-view and he's the king and this and that and you deserve so much. No. Haney also is very marketable. Haney also is a world champion. He brings a lot to the table, so we're fair. In order to make these fights, you have to be fair. And so that's why when I heard Teofimo Lopez say, I'm not accepting 1.5 million, well, that 1.5 million never came from me. I'm not a promoter that is not fair. I'm for the fighter.
Yeah, no, like I said, we didn't know how to process that at all when that came out. Let me ask you a little bit then on Virgil. I spoke to him about a potential fight with Tim Tszyu because Tim has a belt. And I said, hey, would you go to Australia for that? And he said, F yes, I want to go over there. Have you considered that, or are you seeing that you guys were so close with the fight with Crawford, him being the WBO #1 when he was at 47, that you still want to go that route with him and Terrence Crawford?
Yeah, I think first thing is first. Look, Saturday night, I have to see how he performs. You know, that's first. I think the opponent he has in front of him is not a walk in the park. I know that for a fact. I've seen him live and I've seen him up close. He's a warrior. He's a fighter. He has a lot of heart, great chin. He's gonna fight. If Virgil destroys him, then okay, then we can talk about, okay, possibly a world title shot next. But realistically, I would want him to just get back into his rhythm, make sure that he's okay, you know, yeah, and then we'll take it from there. But whatever Virgil wants, we'll get him. That's what we do. That's what a promoter does. You know, your wish is my command. And I strongly feel that Virgil Ortiz not only wants to be called a world champion, because to be a world champion, you have to fight all over the world, not just here in the States. You have to fight everybody. So the fact that he wants to and take that risk and go to Australia is like music to my ears. If that's what we have to do, that's what we'll do. But again, first things first.
True. I'm going to circle back to Ryan. Just one last thing on him. During his last fight, a lot of tension there at the press conference between, you know, with the comments when he went on the press conference with you and Bernard and all that. Is that all sorted out? What was going on there? And if you guys had a chance to just have a sit down and talk and kind of smooth that out.
Look, I truly feel, look, Ryan's young. You know, he's just now maturing, and he's, you know, I strongly feel he has a lot of bad advice. I really do, and I feel for him. I really do, because there's a lot of people out there that are going to give you the wrong advice, and you know, it's a cruel world out there when you're the top dog and when you're the money maker and when you're, you know, coming up and you're young and, you know, you have all these whispers in your ear. And so I just hope, look, Ryan finds that one person that is going to give him the best advice in the world and listen to him, you know, that wants the best for him. I thought I could have been that person, but, you know, he listens to other people, and it's something that I cannot control. All I can do is try to do the best job possible for him. He asked me to get Haney, and that's what I'm gonna gun for, hopefully in March or April.
With Jaime Munguia, another one of your fighters, he has this fight with John Ryder. I think it's going to tell us a lot about Jaime, given how he performs compared to Canelo. But if he is successful and he does have a strong performance against John, is there going to be difficulty making a fight with Canelo, given your relationship with Canelo in the past?
Well, look, I mean, the the past is the past, and Canelo, I'm glad he understands that there are a lot of whispers, and the truth is, yeah, we had a great career together. Me as a promoter, him as a fighter. We made him a lot of money. You know, he put himself on the pedestal. He's the king of boxing now. And I'm proud of that. I really am, because I had something to do with his career. Now, the whispers in his ears, I cannot control. And you know, that's probably what maybe happened. But look, for me, if there's an opportunity to work with him again, I would love to. Because there's a lot of great memories between us, inside and outside the ring. But there's a tremendous opportunity here for both guys. There's a tremendous opportunity to face, imagine two Mexicans inside a ring at the highest level. We haven't seen that since Barrera Morales. We haven't seen that since Israel Vasquez and Rafael, Marquez. We haven't seen that in a long time. Julio Cesar Chavez and Azabache Martinez. I would love to be part of history. I would love Canelo to be part of that history, and Munguia, and give the fight fans an amazing, amazing, you know, show, because you know it's going to be a war, especially if it's in that ring right here.
No, finally, Oscar, relaying back to your goals for 2024, if you could convey a message to the world of boxing, to your fighters, but to other fighters and promoters, what would that message be for 2024?
I think first of all, to fighters, demand fighting the best. If you're at the top level already, if you're at the elite level already, fighting for world titles, demand fighting the best. Your career is such a short window of opportunity. You chose this life. You chose to be a fighter. Then just fight, because it ends quickly. I mean, I miss my sport every single day of my life. I mean, I'm glad I fought the very best. I'm glad I fought everybody, because I have no excuse whatsoever. I fought the best, but that window of opportunity, take advantage of it. That's for the fighter. Now for the promoter, leave your ego at home. Let's work together. Let's make the biggest fights happen. Don't worry about your guy losing. Don't worry about your fighter, you know, having a bad performance. No, if you make the best fights happen, okay, the best against the best, and it's a great fight, guess what? Nobody loses. Everybody wins in the sport. So let's come together. You know, I talked to Bob already. Eddie Hearn went to my building in downtown LA and you know, was looking for me, and those are great signs that we want to work together. Yeah, I strongly feel that boxing, when uniting and coming together, there's nothing sweeter in any sport. I mean, I've had the biggest celebrities in arenas telling me, my gosh, I've been to every event you can possibly think, but boxing will always, you know, reign supreme. There's nothing like it. The electricity, the air, you know, it's beautiful. So yeah, every promoter out there, let's just make it happen. It's, you know, there's enough pie to serve for everyone.
No, I agree, man. 2023 was a great year, and yeah, we all hope as boxing fans and observers of the sport that this 2024 is just as good. Oscar, thank you for the invite. Thank you for the time. Really appreciate it, man.
Now go have your glass of wine.
Yeah, I know, right? This is Marcos Viegas for Fight Up TV here in Las Vegas.